So now we're going to talk about how to extract the bitnat nats. These here are all of the minting contracts. I'm going to post that in the description below. These nats are currently not being indexed properly. As of right now, you could mint any of these contracts from a bitnat that you are not holding that track the indexer will see that you have a valid inscription of, let's say, this nat. Even if you didn't own the bitnat, it will give you this bitnat. Then you could go on and sell that bitnat. Once the indexer is up to verify properly, the nat that you just bought will no longer be valid. So you want to ensure trading right now is you need to be very certain that what you're buying is going to be valid in the future, because just because it's valid right now doesn't mean it's going to be valid in the future. And that's a super important message to get across, because we don't want anybody buying invalids, or we don't want anybody just minting a bunch of these 11s, putting them on the market, people thinking they got 11s, but the person who minted all of these 11s didn't ever own the bitnat. Once the indexer is updated, which should be very soon, all of those 11s you just bought are now invalid. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to verify that you are buying a valid one. Or if you just want to wait till they're indexed properly, you can do that. I highly recommend you know exactly what you're getting yourself into when you go to buy these off the market. And we're going to talk about how to do it, but make sure you do your research. So how do we generate these contracts? We go over to mscribe nats. We'll go find the nats that are associated with the project. Currently, this is the tickers that we're looking for. I already have them all here. You can go to nats on the mscribe page, find these. We showed earlier in the video how to do that with Infinity, but we're going to just show how to do that here. Let's say you wanted to mint 11 because you own a bitnat that has 11 in the hex bit field. You go to deployment ID. So what you can see here is the element pointing at is 11. It's aiming at the project. What is the project? It should be the bitnats project. This is how you're going to tell that this is associated with the bitnat project. You'll see a project here. You can look up that ID. And what is that? It shows us the bitnats project. And that's how you know that this is a bitnat nat, is because it has a project associated with it and it aims at that bitnat project. You can see here it's the hex field. That's the pattern 11. That's what we all looked for. This is the ticker and this is the ID. So if we wanted to mint an 11, we would take our inscription here. We would make sure that we have this ID here is the correct ID. This ticker here matches this ticker, and we would put in a block height of a map that we have. So let's say I want to extract this nat 10 from a bitnat that I own. I'll look up this bitnat that I own, 643101, 643101. We'll look into the bit field. We'll see that the pattern 10 does exist. So this nat is valid for this block that I own. What am I going to do? I'm going to run this script here, and I'm going to put in the block height. Run this inscription any place you would like. I'm going to go to Unisat. And like we discussed, track is not indexing these properly, but you can just make sure that you did it correctly. You can look up your address. And I can see here that I have 2 now. I already ran the script before, and that's why I have 2. But like I discussed, this indexer is not indexing properly. So it may come up as 0 if somebody else minted from your bitnat, right? So that's not going to be a valid nat once the indexer is up indexing these properly. The current check to verify that the wallet owner is holding that bitnat in their wallet before awarding them this nat is not currently functioning. This is a top priority for track, and it should be up and running soon. So this is not accurate currently. You can just check this to make sure maybe you're doing it properly, but this is not giving you validation that in the future, once the indexer is running, is that true? Okay. All right, guys, now that you have your inscription, this is the inscription I created, and I want to list it. I'm going to open it up. Let's say we're going to go for 0.01 BTC. List now. And it's that easy. This mint inscription for bitnats 643101 with this ticker is listed for 0.01 BTC. As a seller, what you need to include so that the buyer can verify that this is a valid inscription is this address here so that they can come buy it from you, and the bitnats inscription of the block. So this block, you need to include this one as well so that they can come check, verify that you are the owner, that you didn't transfer it out anywhere. And as a buyer, you also need to go look up this bitnats, ensure this is the valid owner. You can look here and see that, yes, this is the valid owner. You can check out these inscriptions. You can see here that there's 2 inscriptions. Which one's valid? The first one. So this one is the first one. You would look at this inscription number, verify that this is the inscription number that's for sale. You go over here, look at that. That is the inscription number for sale. So then you know that this is a valid inscription. Currently, the track indexer isn't indexing properly. We know that they're working hard over there. So we're just going to give them time. It should be soon. If you don't want to take all these steps, or if you're unsure what you're doing, then you can just wait, because you might buy something that appears as valid, but it's not. If you don't take these steps, you don't verify that all of this is written exactly how it needs to be, and that the owner owned the bitnat and inscribed it properly at the time, and you're not comfortable doing that, then just wait till it's indexed properly. But if you do want to play into the market, this is how you're going to do it. This is how you verify. I hope you guys learned something. This is a long video. Tomorrow, I'll be chopping the video up into a few parts and releasing it so you guys can digest it into sections if that's what you'd like to do. All right, guys, take care.